Good evening to everybody. Oh, this is a little different tonight. I got my young Gambino with me tonight. Young Gabe in the house.
How you doing?
Young Gabe in the house all the way from Tennessee. He is in the D. And just in my conversations with people, I wanted to just come on, and me and him just going to have some dialogue with you all tonight to give you an opportunity, maybe even to ask him some questions and different things of the sort. But just talking about parenthood and different things of the sort. But before we do any of that, I need all of my friends of purpose. I need every last one of my friends of purpose. I need y'all to get on live. My boy's on tonight. I'm going to have the rest of the family on tomorrow night. But I got a part of the family will be tonight. Young Gambino, young Gabe. He used to be baby giraffe, but now young giraffe because he done grew up almost as tall as his daddy. Handsome fella. You know, hey, man, it is what it is. But we're excited. I'm excited. So can you do me a favor and become a friend of purpose? How do I do that? By sharing and inviting this live. So as you share this live, as you invite others in, you now become the gentle reminder that God still cares. So we want to get into it tonight. But before we get into it, we want to just draw some people in. As we open up tonight, Gabe, just kind of let us know what you've been up to since you flew in on your yacht or flew in on your boat, flew in on your private jet. What you been up to since you got to the D?
Well, for starters, I've been getting a lot of games from my dad. Early Christmas gift. I got some Tims too.
You've been stacking up the gifts, huh?
Oh yeah.
Must be nice. So what you got? You got a PS5 now.
I got a PS5 now. Hey Granny, I got a PS5, a PS5 now. And I can't really explain the games because some people, may not know
right
or not.
But. So that's what we've been doing. We've been I just started playing the game today, but he's been playing this game since he got here. We had to do a couple of things. We had to first and foremost get him some games. So you got on the PS5, which I've never played the PS5 until today. Shout out to his mama for getting the PS5. All I've been doing is just trying to buy some games and get us up to date. So we got one game. I think we got Spider-Man 2.
We got Spider-Man
2, and then we got a game called, what's the second game?
Elden Ring.
Elden. So Elden is about what?
Basically it's an open world game where you're basically trying to become the Elden Lord, which is like Lord of all the lands, and you just like beat a lot of people, like beat monsters, basically.
Okay. So you want to be Lord of all the land.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got that one. And then you got this other game on PS5. It's called Personified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now that one was deep. That one was really deep. Explain to the people what is that? What is Personified on PS5? We're gonna get into some dialogue in a second, y'all. We just opening up today.
Basically Persona 5, it takes place in Japan, and it's a bunch of teenagers who they form a group called Phantom Thieves, and they do things called they raid palaces, like they not really steal, but they steal people's hearts to change them in the real world, so bad people get changed into good people in the real world.
That was deep. So when you told me about that, I'm like, that's pretty deep. So what's happening in the mystery realm or in the virtual reality realm?
Or the cognitive.
Yeah. Cognitive, they got deep words now. Yeah. This boy said cognitive. What's happening in the cognitive? What's happening in the cognitive realm? They are impacting the cognitive realm through turning bad people into good people. So these are the things we've been doing, playing PS5. I literally just got into it today, so it's pretty fun. Now, Gabe didn't tell me he didn't have a controller. He was missing a controller. I'm like, brother, you ain't got but one controller. Now, back in the day when I came up, all the games was 2-player games, but all these games now, so many 1-player games. So we had to get on Amazon Prime and we leveled up. So Gabe going back home with his second controller. So we got 2 controllers, got some new games, and we play some old school games. So those of you that know anything about some old school games, Street Fighter 2, not necessarily all the way back like Pac-Man. That's really, really old school. But for my generation, Street Fighter 2, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Mike Tyson Punch Out, all that kind of stuff. So those are the games that we used to play back in the day. But we played Street Fighter 2, so that was a ball. That was really fun. So we got into that. I love fighting games. Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite games in the whole world. So we'll just leave it at that. I did my thing. So I want y'all to come in with us tonight because we're going to have a really impactful dialogue tonight. Those are, Prophetess, I love you dearly. I promise you I do. Those are the best games. The best games are those fighting games. And baby, I promise you, I have not played no video games and I don't know how long. I just been doing me. You know how it is. You just out here just doing you, living your best life. Blessings to you, Sister Fan. Blessings to you. I love you dearly. So we just been playing video games and doing things like that because a lot of times, when you get around this time of the year, it's just like the hustle and bustle working. But that's all we've been doing. We've been snacking. What about Sam's Club? So we did a little Sam's Club, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Gabe, that's my Sam's Club partner. I tag him, he bag him, so we knock it out. But Gabe, I want to kind of just open up a dialogue with you because your perspective really matters to me. Jesus said, he asked questions about his disciples. Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? So I think you were born and raised in the church, all that kind of stuff. But what's your outlook concerning a lot of things? that are going on. So I'm really just here to interview you and just ask you a bunch of questions and let you tell me how you look at it, and we talk all the time, but just, talk to the people tonight, Gabe. So my first question is kind of walk me through your early days. So your early days, how did you spend your weekends? What do you remember? Because I remember all of it, but what do you remember growing up with your dad and spending those weekends or whatnot?
Okay, so we'll start from Friday up to Sunday. So Friday I would usually be at my house, and he would come pick me up during 7 or 6 when I was younger, back when I lived in Michigan, and we would chill, watch a movie, go to sleep, and then that next morning, on Saturday, we would have a routine: get up, take a shower, go to the barbershop, get some coffee first, go to the barbershop. Um, what else? We'll run errands after that. Then we head back to the house. He get our clothes ready for church tomorrow, and then we would go to sleep. And then back then, early on Sunday, we would get up. We would stay there like basically the entire day. We would stay there the entire day.
Yeah.
And we would head back. He would either head back and he would drop me off, or they would come over to the church and pick me up, and I would go back, and cycle repeats.
Yep. So Gabe was raised in a blended family. So he lived with his mom, but he spent his weekends like a lot of people. They spend the other parent or whatnot. I'm the other parent. So I try not to create connected on tonight. Help us to stay connected. So Gabe would spend those weekends going to the barbershop, going to the grocery store. Mr. Marco, he had a coffee. He wanted something from Starbucks, double cup, stirred, 2% sugar, 2% lightly steamed, 2% milk, double cupped, and all this kind of stuff with 8 raw sugars and all the other kind of stuff. So I would have Gabe do his orders for coffee and all that kind of stuff. And of course, we went to the barbershop every weekend. Now, when you remember, going to the barbershop every weekend, what are your memories from going to the barbershop every weekend?
Well, the main barbershop that we're in, because he had a lot of different barbershops. I would say we would be in there for a while, but it would be a good time because he would usually have a TV right there, and I'll just, I would get my haircut first. It don't take that long. Well, it would take pretty long, but not that long. And then I would get out the chair, and sometimes there's a man called
Good evening, wife.
We call him the dessert man.
Yeah,
he would come through with
the snacks.
With the snacks, and I would always get some banana pudding, or
they'll get us,
and some pound cake.
Yeah, the snack man would get us. Okay. Yeah, they knew, because Gabe wanted the snacks in the barbershop, that if I was trying to save some money, I wasn't gonna save no money that weekend in the barbershop, because they was gonna see the brightness of Gabe's eyes, and little man, you come, you gotta get something for your little man. So Gabe was raised in that barbershop culture, just coming up and hearing all the conversations. So what is the stuff that you learned? Do you learn anything in the barbershop? Hey, Skylar, what's going on, my guy? You all right?
Well, I mean, just being patient and
So explain that. So you said you learned being patient in the barbershop?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I mean, you're in there for a long time, so I mean,
right.
You gotta wait till your dad is done, and then you talk after too, which takes time. So you gotta be patient, and you're a kid too, so nothing you can do.
So yeah, we had a lot going on, because my barber is a pastor at the time, Mr. DeMarco, and that's Gabe's godfather. So he would talk to Gabe about life. He would talk to him about school. He would talk to him about all kinds of stuff. Gabe was cutting up. He had those conversations with him. So I think that's something that I tried to raise Gabe with. Other people needed to help me raise him. His mother, of course, but in addition to that, the community, the people that I know and that I trust. Now, let's talk about these Sundays, because your Sundays looked a little different, brother, than a lot of people. You had to get up early, all that kind of stuff. But our chief apostle, he teaches the word of God, and your father didn't allow you to go to sleep in church. You was 2, 3, and 4. So what was that like? Just from your perspective.
Well, I will say I was scared to go to sleep.
For sure.
Yeah, because there's consequences to going to sleep. Most people know. He put me on the front row, so it just taught me how to pay attention and to focus and to listen to what he was saying.
So sitting on the front row taught you how to focus, taught you how to pay attention. Now, this is a conversation we were having, and we just exposing everybody. As you come in tonight, do me a favor and just share this on tonight, because it's important sometimes to just ask people how they see something. You can think you're doing a good job or whatever, but it's really about the experience that they are having that, determines the success sometimes. My mother did a good job of just having a lot of conversation with me and just sitting me down and talking to me. So I talked to Gabe a lot or whatnot, but he has an outlook now. We're going to get to some of the stuff he's into now. But when you think about focusing, what has that done for you? So you said that sitting on the front row, having to focus, looking at yourself now, because you're in what grade now?
I'm in 9th grade now.
So you're in high school. And what has that done for you? So connect your focus in church to where you are now at 14 in high school.
Well, learning focus from an early age, it really taught me how to just, look at stuff and, piece stuff together. Like, if you could focus, like, for example, my science teacher could be doing notes or something, and he would ask somebody a question or ask me a question, and I could just look at my notes or just listen to what he was saying and say the answer right and get it right.
Because you was paying attention.
Because I was paying attention.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I've always tried to focus on with Gabe is not necessarily me trying to pay attention to him, his enjoyment. I didn't spend a lot of time just focusing on his enjoyment alone. I was trying to teach him how to focus on the things that matter. And I want to talk about one of those things. So when you think about one of the lessons that you've been taught, your mother's taught you a lot of lessons, so on and so forth. But when you think about some of the lessons that you've learned from your dad, from your father, well, what would be one of the single greatest lessons that you have learned?
Well, we just talked about it. Every single time you walk in the room, you smile. I'm a pretty tall person, so basically everybody can see me. Same with you. So you just smile. Just smile.
So you're saying that a lesson that you've learned is that when you walk into a room, you should what?
Always smile, or at least have good posture, or look like you're happy, grateful.
So let me ask you this. So that's a good answer. So when you look at, sometimes when I look at a generation, and it may not be your generation in totality, but it's a representation, just maybe a few or a sector of your generation, it looks like they seem grieved or upset or disinterested about whatever's going on in the room. So what is it? What is that? Help me to understand about, because this is your generation.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could be due to many things, but first, really, it's just some of them don't have very good home training. Most of them don't talk to a lot of people. Most of them are lonely, and the only people they talk to is their friends. They don't actually have interesting conversations with people they may not know or they know. So,
so talk to me about that piece. You said something about young people being lonely. So define that, because I think that's especially during this time in this season. And we'll get into the kindness movement and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that happens a lot. Hey, Elder Keith, I love you dearly. It's Elder Keith.
Hey, Elder Keith.
One of the things that happens around this time, there's a lot of suicide and different things of the sort, or as they say it now, people who want to unalive themselves. What does that look like in your culture? Is that piece of so many young people, they feel like they're by themselves? Where do you think that comes from?
Well, I would say that comes from not having a good relationship with God. You should, and not talking to your family members often. You should never feel like that you don't have anybody to talk to. That's not right.
That's good. So when you say having a good relationship with God, what does that mean?
I mean, it could be anything. You could be praying, you could be helping people, you could be spreading the word, it could be anything. Just being with him overall, it will help with not being lonely.
So two things. So you believe that having a relationship with God, it could be prayer, it could be getting into the Word, and being able to talk to your family. How important is it to be able to talk to your family in order to work through those feelings of loneliness?
I mean, you see, some people don't see their family every single day. Some people do. Um, you know, just appreciate the time you have with them, and just be grateful that they're there with you. I would never feel lonely because I appreciate the time.
Got it. Now, knowing you as an individual, you're talking about this piece of loneliness, but and you spend time with your family, and that's good. But for the most part, would you say that you're like a homebody? You kind of stay to yourself because you seem to be comfortable by yourself. Where does that come from?
Well, it's not the fact I can talk to people.
Okay,
It's just I'm just more comfortable, like just having a quiet, chill environment. Just it's not. I could be around a lot of people and have fun. It's just I just prefer to be by myself sometimes because I like to have fun.
I got you. Yeah, I'm the same way. I can be around people, but of course, the easier space is, of course, just being by yourself or whatnot. But you can be alone and not lonely, and I think that's very important, especially from a 14-year-old. That you have the ability to be in your own skin and be very comfortable with yourself. And I think just as parents, that's one of our jobs is to help our young people identify, who they are. So some other things, Gabe. So you've been raised in the church. You talk about this focus and being able to apply that in school and, and all those different things. When you think about who you are today, um, who is Gabe? Who is Gabe? Who are you?
Um, well, I know who I am. I am a kind person when it comes to it. Sometimes cannot be, but I know myself. I can be easy to talk to. I'm a funny person. Some people say.
hmm
You can laugh a lot. You can talk to me about things. I can be sincere. Um, it's just I understand.
That's good. Now, Gabe, everything about being raised is not easy. And we're going to get into some chores and some other things like that. But everything about having parents that set boundaries is not fun. Um, would you agree that some of the disciplines that were put in your life, it wasn't fun?
Yeah, it's because I'm a kid. I wanna jump around. I wanna do all that. It's never fun. My bad. It's never fun.
Yeah, so a lot of things wasn't fun. And then as you got older, I think you were about maybe 10, 11, or 12, you started trying to go in a direction where it's like, okay, well, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. You started, you're trying to locate your voice and all those types of things to the place that you are now. How did you navigate through that season where, my dad wants this for me, but this is kind of how I see myself, and how did you work through that? Or do you remember some of the conversations we had?
hmm Well, I just said, I don't like having these. It's good for me to have these conversations, but it's not. I shouldn't have these conversations every single time. I need to do better. I don't like hearing people yell at me or angry or just. But it taught me how to just listen and how to do stuff right. Like
Gotcha. Now you began to talk about a language earlier today. You were saying one of the most single important lessons that you've learned was about what?
uh, when you walk into a room, you always smile or look happy.
Why though? Why you gotta look happy?
Well, just be happy.
Well, why is that important though? To look or to be happy? What does it say?
Well, it says two things. It says that you're grateful for what they've done for you and whoever's done anything for you, and it it lets them know that you are in agreement with everything and any decision made.
Now, this phrase right here, y'all, I asked Gabe this off the dome. We were on our way from Jersey, getting ready to fly to Detroit, and me and Zizi was in the car, and we were having just, just some conversations or whatnot. And I began to ask Gabe about, what does your presence in a room means? And this joker breaks out and says, smiling means that you are in agreement with all decisions made concerning you. I'm talking about that thing. Somebody put in the comment section, mind blown, mind blown, mind blown. This boy said that smiling for him means that it represents that he just said it now. He just said it like it was nothing. It means that he's in agreement with all decisions being made concerning him. And that's powerful. How many people don't understand that when you enter a room, that by simply smiling, it puts you in agreement with whatever's being done? And that's his spirit. That was powerful. That is his outlook on life. That when I enter a room, and Zizi was there, mind blown, just mind blown. And I think that's very important. Now, Gabe, your generation, they can be challenged. Bishop, that's Bishop BB.
Bishop BB.
Bishop BB was there when you was born, Gabe.
Oh yeah.
He's known you ever since you was born. So,
oh, yeah.
BB, you getting up there, or Gabe is getting older. You getting younger. But I want you to kind of talk to me about this piece of work and effort and energy in an environment, because you were raised a certain way. So kind of talk to me about what's your outlook on work, and then I want to talk a little bit about respect and communication.
You mean like just like schoolwork, like we talking about, like
yeah, it could be let's go housework and schoolwork. Let's go there.
Well, really housework. I've been taught many ways how to do cleaning and sweeping and things of that nature.
So bring the people up to speed. So current stage. What are your responsibilities? And it's not just here. And what I love about you is that the things that I've tried to show you here, you'll go home and you do those things there. So walk me through a day in a life at the time when you have your brothers and all that kind of stuff. What does your day look like from start to finish? Waking up in the morning, going to school, and then the things. What are you responsible for as far as cleaning and different things of the sort? Let's go Tennessee, and then we come back to Detroit.
Okay. Well, when recent RJ did live with me, basically in the mornings, get up early because we usually had school. We always got school. Get them up because sometimes they don't want to wake up because they have to go to school before me. So we get them up, and then we'll take them to school. After that, my mom will take me to school. Then I will go to school, do what I need to do, come back, check the trash, make sure no dishes in there, in the sink, check the bathrooms, make sure they're clean, clean my room if it's needed to be. If recent RJ need to clean the room, I tell them, I help them sometimes, trying to get them in the habit. And make sure Max is good, my dog.
Take care. Shout out to Max.
Yep. Make sure everything is good before I go to bed. Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's 11, 12, 13, and 14 now. You've been doing this since you was like 11, 12, 13, and 14. Basically waking your brothers up, getting them ready for school, different things of the sort, coming home after school, cleaning up the house. And do you remember those times when I was teaching you how to clean? What did that look like? So what do you remember about the process of learning? Did I just tell you to do it, or what happened?
No, well, the first time you told me to clean, you did like most of it, really. You didn't really just like hand it to me and just say, but you showed me how to do it, and you showed me specific things like take everything out the bathroom and spray everything down and make sure you get the sides and the ends and every part of the toilet. Do extra, because why not just do extra?
Yep. So did that happen once, or did that happen like multiple times?
Well, till I got the hang of it, you showed me. But you didn't do it for me sometimes, but you showed me,
Mhm.
how to do it.
Absolutely. So how does it look now? So how does your life look now? So when you came home to Detroit, you got here, you got yourself set up, so on and so forth. When it like how does it work? So do I remind you a lot of times, or how does it work to clean up?
Well, now, I try not to let you remind me because I try to get in the habit where I try to just clean without somebody to tell me to clean because it makes more people happier. Um, Really, it's just like you just clean in a orderly fashion the way you told me to.
Right. So I'm gonna tell you all this. Until when you need to be reminded, that means you're still in training. But when you no longer need to be reminded, that means you've completed a certain level of training. And that's how I've tried to raise him. Um, and he's been doing it since last year. I had a conversation with him Friday. I said, Gabe, we cleaning up. Now, when Gabe has to clean up, it looks a little bit different. Him having to clean up is basically he has to clean up all three floors. We have three floors, so he has to clean up all three floors. So he has to sweep, he has to pour everything out of every bathroom. He has to vacuum all three floors. He has to create the mop water with hot water. He has to wash all the dishes. He has to wipe down every counter, microwave, everything. He cleans the entire house from top to bottom or whatnot. Now, Gabe, why are you not angry doing this? Why are you not upset? Because you seem to just not only are you doing it without being asked at this point, but you're not angry about it. Why are you not mad? Why you ain't got an attitude? Why you not stumping?
I mean, it got to get done somehow, and I'm gonna be the only person to do it, so there's no need to be mad.
Simple. So he understands some things, and these are the basic things that help manage temperaments. A lot of times we wonder why young people are angry. Sometimes it's just they don't have enough to do, and chores help you to manage your temperament because you can't be shoveling snow and mad too long because it just is it's gonna get cold at a certain point. Now, Gabe, I do want to talk to you about respect. Is there a language of respect, and how important is respect for people to respect you and for you to respect them? It's two ways.
Um, well, respect is given both ways, but for me, I should say anybody older than me deserves respect. You know, have more knowledge than me, no more. Um, you know, just they just need more respect. I would say that respect for me um is um just telling me what to do and try not to raise your voice. I mean, you can, but
Okay, that's good. So what's the language? Because there's a way that I raise you to try to communicate with people. What's the language of respect that I've tried to teach you?
yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am, no sir, things like that.
Now, is that outdated? Does when you use that language, do people get mad at you down south? Do they feel like you disrespecting them?
Well, no.
So does that language still work?
Yeah, it still works. Everybody says I call my teachers that, and it's just a form of respect down there too. So
That's good. No, because you don't know. Because sometimes you can do things in a certain environment, and they'll be like, "Well, you ain't got to say that. You ain't got to call me ma'am. I'm just as young as you, and all that other kind of stuff." But just from his perspective, just wanting to know how is that viewed and looked at in this generation. Now, Gabe, when you think about the church, because you spend a lot of time in church with me, your brother's a pastor, your mother has raised you in the church, all that type of stuff. You've been in church, all your grandmothers and all this kind of stuff. So when you look at the church, um, what's good with the church, and what are some adjustments that maybe need to be made from your perspective?
okay, nobody bash me. I would say the church, we have a good relationship with each other. We're close. We're there for each other. Um, you know, um, sometimes when it gets tough, people tend to I'm going to say not think, but they tend to blank and say things that are not meant to be said, or just doing stuff that's not godly.
Okay. So though, so both. So I want to be clear. What's the opportunity then?
The opportunity,
Like
meaning
the things that maybe need to change then. So you're saying they say the things that need to change are people over speaking.
not over speaking. I'm I can't really say nothing about nobody speaking. It's your opinion, but uh, I would say just be mindful where you are. Um, you're at a church, so that's God's place. Just be mindful.
Okay. Now, why are young people, from your perspective, disinterested sometimes? Not everywhere, but sometimes they can be disinterested while the word is going on and different things of the sort. What do you think attributes to that?
Well, some people don't believe in God, and some people don't find it relevant or interesting, which is just young people, myself. But I don't really. I'm just listening, trying to learn from it.
Got it. Now, you serve in your local church. You don't sit in your local church. Now, you used to sit when you were younger, but now you serve and you work like your father. You try to make sure that you're being present. What do you see while you're serving? So while you're walking people to the car, is there any value in that, or is it just slave work? What's the point?
I would say it teaches me how to talk to people. You talk to a lot of people when you're outside and talk and drive walking people to their car, and you know you talk to random people on the street. It just teaches you how to talk to any people.
That's good. So what you're saying is that while you're serving in church, you're learning communication skills.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Definitely.
a lot of things I've learned in my life. I've learned how people steal. I've learned how people hurt. I've learned what people were really trying to say. Just being outside, like being the youngest person in the room, and just trying to be a help. So that's powerful. Gabe, your perspective and your outlook concerning how to serve and how to work. Your perspective on chores and different things of the sort, and even learning how to come into your own identity, and like you said, that piece of being in your own skin, and because people deal with a lot of loneliness. Now, one of the things I always want to know, because the Bible says that Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, uh, am?" or whatnot. So when you think about fatherhood and the way that you were raised, who is your father to you, and what has he taught you?
Um, well, if I go through what you taught, we'll be here for hours. But
Well, talk to us. I want outlook is important.
okay. Well, I would say you are a hardworking person. You don't give up. Um, you know, you talk to people on the daily. That's your job. You know, you help people. You pray for people. You're always there. You're never needed to be called on, or you're always present. You know, you're consistent. Yeah, yeah. That's the type of person you are.
Yeah. So this is your outlook of an example, things that you've seen growing up. So when you think about what a man is, um, is that the portrait of a man for you? What do you believe a man's responsibility is?
His ultimate responsibility, or just
Let's go
like
ultimate and some of the other ones.
um well, as a man, depending on if you have kids, or it really I would say making sure you have a good balance between everything, making sure your bills are paid, making sure your mama good, you know just making sure everything is right.
Yeah. Now let's talk about this mama being good piece, because there are a lot of young men that they give their mamas a hard time. They give their daddies a hard time too. But specifically, the moms. One of the things, and I'll let you answer it. I won't put words in your mouth. What is my outlook on how you deal with your mother?
What do you expect?
What
Or
do I expect?
I would say, you obviously do whatever she tells me to do.
Absolutely.
Make sure that respect is given the same way I would treat anybody. Make sure she's okay. Call on her, check on her. Don't stress her out. Make sure I have, just take care of her.
Absolutely. Now, when you look at your dad and his relationship with his mother, what is the one thing that stands out to you?
Taking care and respect. I see that a lot between y'all.
Yeah. So one of the things we ain't gonna pull no punches on is how we deal with our mothers. I'm gonna make sure he deals with his mother with respect, and I'm gonna show him how to respect his mother as by how I respect my mother. I hope y'all tagging the young men in tonight, because I believe that these are conversations that we want to have more times than not. Because in order to be something, you have to see something in your life or whatnot. So there are times that you're getting older, you're getting taller, all that kind of stuff, and your voice, you're getting some bass in your voice, a little cappuccino mustache, all that kind of stuff. But how important is it to always remember who you're talking to as far as your mother?
Like, you said who I'm talking to, like the way I address her, or
Correct, the way you address her.
Well, my mom always told me this. Everybody know it. I'm not one of your little friends. So everybody know that.
I love it.
I just treat her with respect. I make sure she's okay. You give more respect to the person who birthed you. So
absolutely. Now you have siblings. You have older siblings and younger siblings. How important, because they're going to follow your example, how important is it for you to speak up for them, protect them? What do you feel like your role is with you talked about some things that you do, you wake them up, but that could be routine, I don't know. But what do you feel like your role is with your siblings in the family?
Well, I would say, be who you want to be, but I ain't gonna I ain't your father first most, but I want to try to help y'all not make the wrong choices, like in certain things, like Reese.
Reese be turned up. I love it.
Oh yeah, he be turned up. I'll be having to say things to him. He'll say something to mom. She'll just be mad. Be like, "Come on, bro, you can't say that, bro." Like
So you actually tell your younger brother that you can't be out of pocket with mom.
For sure.
Right now, would you say that is a love language?
Yeah, he understands it and he does it. So I mean, he don't have a problem with it. He understands. I talk. I don't just yell at him, but I talk to him about it.
Man, that's good. That's real good. It's very important, I think, that as we have children and have relationships with our children, that we can have open dialogues about the church, about how they feel about how they were raised, and all those types of things, because they have an outlook that we just don't have. They have a perspective that we don't have. And Gabe, there's a lot that's going on in your generation. Now, what would you say is the greatest factor that's influencing your generation? What influences your generation?
Weed and
You said who?
Weed, drugs, or
okay,
and
that's good.
I would probably
so weed and drugs is an influencer in your generation.
Oh, for sure.
Wow.
Everybody do it. Not me. All
right. So weed, drug. No, be honest.
Yeah, I'm being honest. I'm trying to think what else. Guns. Some people never had dads before, so they were just raised the wrong way. Um,
So talk to me about the drugs and the lack of fatherhood. How
uh,
what are, from your perspective, what are the drugs doing to your generation and the lack of fatherhood? What is that impacting in your generation?
well, drugs do a number of things on you mentally and physically, but
Okay.
I would say the mental thing is a big part because of our generation, because it makes you more vulnerable to things. Um, like you'll be more mad, or you'll be more sad, or it just makes you more emotional on drugs.
So from your perspective, drugs makes you more angry and more emotional.
On certain drugs, yes. Like I would say weed makes you more relaxed, but it's just not good for you overall. Like kills your mind.
That's good. Now let's talk about this piece because you said one of the things that may be missing in the culture. A lot of people don't have fathers. Um, how does that look in your generation? Like, so what are they potentially missing? If you don't have a father, what are you missing in your life?
Well, it could be anyone. They just don't have somebody to tell them, like, you're not doing this right. You're going down the wrong path. You need to fix it. They don't have somebody to tell them that. Some of the parents just let them do whatever they want, so
I
they just
got
don't
you.
understand.
Right. So, with that in mind, understanding that having a father, having somebody in your life that can tell you what direction to take. So, what is our communication? Is it because again, I'm a guy. I could be a person that could be perceived a certain way or whatnot. But from your perspective, what is our communication like? Or let me ask you this question: what does love mean? If I'm receiving love from you, what does that mean?
Um,
How do you love me?
how do I love you?
Correct. Based on based on what we've communicated about. So how does Gabe love me? What do I consider you loving me as?
Um, Calling you, checking up on you, making sure the house is clean, making sure everything's good with my mom, respect for everybody, making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And
Yeah, because one of the things I think as parents, we focus so much on trying to express the love in their direction. But when Gabe turned 10, and I realized that he was smart, he know how to throw your phone up in the sky. So he got a phone, he got a device or whatnot, and I figured out he could call his friends, he could call everybody else. I don't call Gabe. He's in Tennessee, but I don't call him because if you can call everybody else, if you can have a conversation with them, then you can make time to call me because again, I'm busy too. I got things going on, so on and so forth. But I make time to see about you, to provide for you, all these other types of things. So that's one of the things that we've bridged that gap over the last 5 years. That I'm not going to call you. You should be looking for me, trying to figure out how am I doing, what's going on with me. And I think that's one of the wisdoms we have to teach our children to reciprocate, to give back. What does love? How do they love us? Because we've expressed that to them and all the provision we gave them. But how do they love us back? Cleaning up. How you respect your mother is you loving me. If you can't say you love me and you disrespect your mother, so, those types of things. So, last but not least, Gabe. So I'm gonna leave this with you. So as we close tonight, when you think about um, your generation, because there are a lot of young people that they get into a lot of back and forths with their parents and different things like that. Um, how how do you how do you avoid these, or how do you get over yourself so that you're not in a position to have these back and forths with your parents?
um, well, the first option would be you know, you I would talk to either you, granny, or somebody close to me. Uh, and then I would pray after that, because y'all would give me advice and tell me what to do and what I did wrong. You wouldn't just say, "Oh, it's okay." So no, you would tell me what I did wrong and how to fix it and what to do.
Got it. So you're saying that if you're having some challenges listening or hearing instructions or whatever, you need to reach out to somebody that got some sense and talk to them.
Somebody to tell me what I did wrong.
Okay, that's good. So every child is not the same. Some people don't want to hear um, what they did wrong. So when you look at people who may not be wired like you necessarily, what is it? What is it that you believe causes young people not to want to hear?
Not to want to listen to people, like when they have something to say to you.
Correct.
Well, really, some people just find it annoying. They don't want to hear that every single time, but it happens because they're your parent. They're gonna want to talk to you. They're gonna want to say something to you. So you have to get accustomed to that.
Got it. So yeah, so Gabe was just giving out all types of jewels tonight. This has been really good. I just wanted to take some time because sometimes if you're not careful, something will say to you in your mind that what you're dealing with is just simply impossible. Now, the young man I have standing here in front of me is in no way, shape, or form, because I'm not a perfect parent. He can't be a perfect child because he come from imperfect circumstances and situations. But he has some things going for him that are going to take him a long way. The ability to listen and hear and respect and yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, all those types of things, a work ethic, honor, a desire to want to hear people. All these things are going to take him very far in life, but it all starts with honor and respect. So, Gabe, one of the things that in your generation, what does it mean, and how do you know you saved?
Well, you're saved because you know that Jesus died and rose up in 3 days, and you know that Jesus is God and that He's coming back.
Simple. So having the identity of your salvation, it definitely matters a whole lot. Knowing who God is in your life, I think everything starts from there. And when you have that knowledge, everything else can kind of flow. But again, we're all people. We're trying to work through things. But I wanted just to come on tonight and just have a conversation because there are parents that we're having some real challenges. Not you're having some real challenges. We are having some real challenges as parents. We are all dealing with different adjustments. I got a younger son coming up behind Gabe, and he's pulling all the tricks that Gabe was pulling when he was younger, just shooting a shot, all that kind of stuff. So it comes with the territory, but I think we need to build a community so that we can start having these conversations and getting some answers and some solutions. And if you're struggling with a young person, sometimes hearing a different outlook like Gabe, it'll definitely help you out. So we just wanted to come on briefly tonight. We've been on for almost an hour. We wanted to share some things tonight and have those conversations. So is there anything in the culture, anything in the church, anything that you see that could help your generation? And I want you to close with that. And then I want you to pray out.
Give me a prayer.
Well, after you address that. Yeah.
Well, I would say the factors that come with being in a church for younger people or people like myself, I would say it helps you to listen, teaches you to focus better, teaches you to respect people, because mostly everybody in the church is going to be older than you. It just teaches a lot of good factors that you'll need in life,
Okay.
Teaches you how to temperament, have a good temperament for people.
So the church teaches you how to listen and how to have a good temperament with people.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And what would be the number one thing that young people would need prayer for?
Gun violence or drugs or anger.
Okay. So I want you to pray tonight for over gun violence, anger, and drugs. And we're going to close out.
Okay. Father God, in the name of Jesus, I pray that you let gun violence, drugs, and anything bad in this world, let it not be here, and let it not come across our generation, and let the next generation be better and more smarter and better about their decisions, and let them be in church, let them know God. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. These have been moments with Gabe. Excellent teaching tonight, Gabe. I just wanted to hear from your perspective because the Bible says a child will lead us. There are a lot of things that you can just learn from just listening to a young, pure, open vessel. I love this boy to life. I promise you, I do. I'm so proud of him. I don't know what to do with myself. So Tonight, we're going to let y'all go. We want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. We can't wait. Big I said he want 1,400 days with his brother Gabe. He want 1,400 days. He want to hang out with his brother for 1,400 days. So we got another PS5 controller. So when Big I come in, we're gonna play video games all night. We're gonna turn up. We got all the fruit snacks and Izzy's and everything else. So it's going down. So Gabe, I thank you tonight for being on. Dr. Remy, you know we love you dearly. I promise you.
I love you.
I promise you we do.
Hey Shay.
Yeah, Sister Fan, we love you dearly. So no matter what you do tonight, I want you to keep it kind. We love you, and we will see you on the next broadcast. Merry Christmas to everybody, and
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
Father, we're sorry, Lord, for making it about gifts, money, and cars. Kingdoms and churches, bigger cathedrals. But we forgot you. So we're coming back to the heart of worship, where it's all about you. Yeah. If we're gonna be preachers, pastors, believers, let us be worshipers first. We're sorry, Lord, for the things we made it. It's always been about you. It's all said I'm coming.